Today, we're putting three potato farming methods side by side: manual, semi-mechanized, and fully smart. Same land, same crop, but completely different tools, different costs, and very different results. All of this will be based on growing 1 acre of potatoes in the United States. Please keep in mind, these are approximate numbers. Costs, labor, and profits can vary depending on your state. The variety used is Russet Burbank. The seed quantity is 1,500 pounds, approximately 680 kilograms. The season duration ranges between 100 and 120 days. First method, manual farming, traditional method. Preparing the soil using a Fisker's garden, hoe and bully tool shovel. Applying organic compost manually, laying out planting rows with the help of Ames bow rake. Irrigating using hose, removing weeds and pest control by hand. Harvesting using the Fisker's garden hoe or a garden fork. Now let's talk about the costs of using the traditional manual method. First, we'll need about $450 worth of seed potatoes. Labor is the biggest part, around 130 hours of work, and if we're paying $15 per hour, that adds up to $1,950. Then there's the basic gear, a Fisker's garden hoe for $40, a bully tool shovel for $35, and an Ames bow rake for $30. We'll also need a wheelbarrow, which runs around $150. On top of that, you'll spend about $150 on compost and pest control, and we'll leave $100 for miscellaneous expenses. That brings our total to $2,905. And what do we get for that? We're expecting to harvest about 7 tons of potatoes, which, at $350 a ton, gives us $2,450 in revenue. So in the end, that's a loss of $455. This method has a big upside. It's cheap to start and gives you full control. But the downside? It takes a lot of time and effort, and you won't get much yield compared to other methods. It's a good fit for hobbyists or anyone growing potatoes in a backyard or small garden. What if you and your family do all the work yourselves? If we remove labor costs, the total drops to just $955, and in that case, the same harvest would bring in a profit of $1,495. Not bad at all, especially for a homestead or backyard grower. So, yes, it takes a lot of sweat, but if you're putting in the work yourself, it can actually be profitable. Now let's step things up a bit with what we call the semi-mechanized method. It's more efficient than manual farming, but still simple enough for small farmers. You don't need massive machines or high-tech gear. We start with plowing and shaping the beds using a BCS 739 two-wheel tractor. Next, we plant our seed potatoes using an Earth Tools mounted potato planter. Irrigation is taken care of with a Rainbird drip system that's just the right size for a 1-acre plot. For weed control, we use the Red Dragon VT 223C torch kit, like a flamethrower for weeds. And finally, harvesting is done with a small mechanical potato digger. No more bending over with a fork. Let's run the numbers, quick and simple. Seeds, call $450. Labor, 70 hours times $15 equals $1,050. Drip irrigation, $500 fertilizer and pesticide, $400 tractor, BCS 739, $4,000 potato planter, $800 torch kit, $350. Potato digger Berta Franco D10 for $950. Total cost, $8,500. So, what do we get out of this method? We're expecting a harvest of 11 tons of potatoes. At a market price of $350 per ton, that gives us a total revenue of $3,850. Now let's do the math. The total revenue is $3,850, but when we subtract the full cost, which is $8,500, we end up with a first-year loss of $4,650. And just like before, a large part of that loss is due to the equipment investment, which you won't have to repeat every season. Use that same gear next year, your costs drop dramatically, and suddenly that loss starts turning into a profit. So, to put it simply, in the manual method, your muscles are the machine. In this method, you let small machines do the hard labor and save your energy for managing and optimizing the process. That's why this method is perfect for small to medium-sized farms. It balances time, effort, and productivity really well. Now let's jump into the most advanced method of potato farming, the smart, high-tech approach built for maximum precision and productivity. Here's how it works. We start by plowing and planting with some serious horsepower using the John Deere 5075E tractor paired with the Grimmer GL 420 Exacta precision planter. This combo doesn't just break ground, it lays your potatoes down with perfect spacing and depth row after row. Next, we irrigate using the Valley Center pivot system, one of the most trusted names in automated field irrigation. To make sure we don't waste a drop, we install soil moisture sensors like the Crop X or the Arable Mark II to track exactly when and where water is needed. For pest control and nutrition, we go airborne with the DJI Agris T30, a smart agricultural drone that can spray fertilizers and pesticides with pinpoint accuracy. And to bring it all together, we monitor everything using the Trimble GFX 750 GPS display connected to smart devices. This gives us real-time data on planting, spraying, and irrigation. Let's talk cost. Seeds are $450, labor, 30 hours, times $25 per hour equals $750. Fertilizer and pesticide, $1,000. Valley Center, pivot system, $10,000. Tractor, John Deere 5075E equals $45,000. Planter, Grimmer GL 420, Exacta equals $25,000. GPS, Trimble GFX 750, display equals $7,000. Drone, DJI Agris T30, gear $15,000. Soil sensors, Crop X or Arable Mark II, Deere $2,000. Total cost, $106,200. What do we get from all this? We're aiming for a high-yield harvest, around 18 tons of potatoes. At $350 per ton, that gives us $6,300 in revenue. But when we subtract the total cost of $106,200, we're looking at a first-year loss of $99,900. So, is it worth it? Absolutely, but not right away. This method is built for scale and long-term return. The equipment lasts for years, and the data-driven approach means less waste and higher efficiency with every season. Why do the profits vary so much between methods? Manual farming keeps costs low, but it's slow and labor-intensive. Semi-mechanized farming finds a healthy middle ground, and smart farming gives you the best yield. But you need patience and capital to make it pay off.